Okay, so I'd like to open the June 8th, 2022 City of Springfield License Commission meeting to order at 5:33 p.m. Our first item on the agenda is the approval of the minutes for May 25th, 2022 meeting. Did all commissioners have an opportunity to read the minutes or review them?
Yes.
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 Okay. Any changes or corrections?
Yes.
What is that, Peter?
The minutes say I was absent, yet somehow I seconded two of the motions.
Oh.
That was amazing, wasn't it?
It
I did
sure
it
was.
telepathically from Disney World. The fifth order and the eighth order, it says I seconded the motion and I wasn't present, so
Okay,
I couldn't have done that.
okay, absolutely. I agree with you. Okay, so I make a motion that we approve the minutes for the meeting, the May 25th meeting for the City of Springfield License Commission meeting. After the correction from item 5 and number 8, correct, Peter?
Correct.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Okay. Commissioner Cade,
Yes.
Commissioner Singleton,
Staying.
Commissioner Ramirez,
Yes.
Commissioner D'Angelo Antonio,
Yes.
Commissioner Espinosa, yes. Okay. We
Sorry,
don't have,
Commissioner. Who seconded the motion?
I did, Keith.
Thank you. My apologies.
no problem. Okay, we don't have any continued petitions today, but we do have a new petition for the new all alcohol restaurant license for Mexico LLC, DBA Mexico, located at 64 Hancock Street. Anastasia Chirico Lanzano, manager of record. Is someone here for Mexico?
Commissioner, if I may be heard for a moment,
Yes.
there was actually an issue with publishing for the hearing for Mexico. So I was sent a note to ask that it be continued to June 22nd, if that is amenable.
No problem. Continue to June 22nd. Okay, so I make a motion that we continue Mexico for June 22nd.
Second.
Okay. Commissioner Cade,
Yes.
Commissioner Singleton,
Yes.
Commissioner Ramirez,
Yes.
Commissioner D'Angelo Antonio,
Yes.
Commissioner Espinosa, yes.
I see Old Hill Neighborhood Council is here. Are you, whoever you are from Old Hill Neighborhood Council, are you here for Mexico?
Good afternoon. Yes, sir, I am.
Okay, so we're continuing this until June 22nd. So if you want to be heard, you have to come back.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Good night.
Thanks, Peter.
Yep.
Our second petition is for a new annual all alcohol restaurant license for Republica Hookah Bar, LLC, DBA Republica Hookah Bar, located at 760 Boston Road. Charlie Mello Perez, manager of record. Mr. Perez.
Hi, how are you doing?
Good, how are you?
Not bad. I'm getting my.
Are you representing yourself? You don't have an attorney with you?
Yep.
Okay.
There's an
Yeah.
attorney here waving.
In his car.
Oh, okay.
With his
Yes,
phone
I
on.
have attorney Dan Kelly.
Dan, you're on
Okay.
mute.
Dan, can you hear us?
You're on
Counsel?
mute. Oh,
Okay.
Okay. Okay, you
Mike,
have
can
the
you hear me
floor.
now?
yes.
You have the
there we go.
floor, yes.
Okay, so this is an application for a new hookah lounge at 760 Boston Road. As part of the opening, we did meet with the Pine Point Civic Association on the property. They walked the property with us, walked in and out. And at the end, you should have in your packet a letter of support for this application. We did also go to the planning board last week and did receive unanimous support from them as well. This is on Boston Road, just to orient you, if you know where Maddie's Cafe is, it's right to the right of that. It's a small little, looks like almost a house, like a residential structure. This will be the right side of that residential structure. It's a very small place. It is meant to be a hookah lounge. When you come in, they're hopefully to get it going, so it's reservation only soon. But when you come in, you will be seated at couches and offered hookah and also a food menu. If you do not order hookah, then you cannot stay. This is not a bar that you can just go in and drink and hang around in. This is a place where you have to order hookah. It's like going to a restaurant, sitting at a table and only asking for drinks. That's not the way it works. So you'll have to order hookah in order for them to serve you alcohol. And as I'm sure you know, and I've told you this before, and other applicants I have, it's a different process to get the hookah license than it is alcohol. They're actually starting at the state and coming back to Springfield, and they're in the process of that. And they will not open until their hookah license is issued, should you issue their license in this particular matter. So just jumping off of that, the two people that are the 50% owners each are Philip Cuevas and Charlie Melo Perez. Mr. Melo Perez is actually on here. He's also the proposed manager. Both of them are TIP certified. Becoming TIP certified will be a condition of employment. Which is important is that next to this it's one house. So think of the house as literally divided quite in the middle. The left side of the house is a fried chicken and pizza place that Mr. Melo Perez also owns completely himself. They are, I think, ready to open later in June. They'll open regardless in June, regardless of any hookah lounge issues or liquor issues, and it'll be open to the public. But the reason I say that is they have a full kitchen in that establishment, and as we showed Pine Point Civic Association, if you come in and order off the menu at the hookah lounge, they have a separate hookah lounge only menu, but you could also order anything you want off of their menu as well. And the waitresses will walk between the two businesses. There is a door that opens, and you're going to walk into the business. You present yourself, and the waitress will present herself into the kitchen, and then bring the food out to you. It's a fairly small place. There's only about 5 or 6 couches on the first floor. The second floor, they're hopeful to have licensed by the city as well. When I say that, I don't mean your license. I mean like a certificate of occupancy, because they have some issues with ADA compliance, and that is also very small. We'll have about 4 or 5 couches as well. When you walk in, right to the left, there'll be a hostess or host stand. They will check your ID, check your license, and then you'll be escorted down to sit at a couch. There really isn't any place to really go other than the couches. The bar itself is about the size of, I would think, a large desk. So while someone could stand there, or sit, maybe 2 people could sit there, it is anticipated that everyone will be seated on the couches that will be circular with tables in front of them that have the hookah smoke apparatus in front of them. You order your hookah, you order your you order your liquor if you want any, and then so goes the night or the day. Their initial application was that they would be open till 2 a.m. However, after meeting with Pine Point Civic Association and speaking with them, we have come to an agreement to limit the hours at the beginning to 1 a.m. That was their suggestion, and we readily agreed to it, and we thought it was a fair one. Their hope is that after several months of being in operation and running a good, clean business and living up to their word about being a good neighbor, that we will go back to the Pine Point Civic Association, potentially ask them for their support for them to open later on the weekends. But as of right now, we're amending our application to 1 a.m. only in order to get the support of the Pine Point Civic Association. A little bit about the owners. While this is the first liquor establishment they will own, they are no stranger to businesses. As I told you, Mr. Melo Perez, who is also the manager, owns the adjacent restaurant and has worked in the food service business for some time. He's worked at bars and clubs downtown, has some hookah experience, most frequently worked in at another similar type of restaurant on Walnut Street, and that is how he's branching off now to open up his own business. Philip Cuevas, who is a 50% owner, he and his family are no strangers to owning businesses. They own several in Holyoke and Springfield. It's a fairly small operation. They anticipate only having 3 or 4 employees to start. Like again, it's you don't have the benefit of walking the property like Pine Point Civic Association did, but it is a very small property. And everyone will have to be tip certified. If business picks up later, then they will open earlier than 3 p.m. But right now, that's their anticipated open time. The menu, there's a full page menu for hookah, as well as a full page menu for food, in addition to the menu that the restaurant adjacent to it has. Most of the food in the hookah lounge only menu is finger food. It's sandwiches, soups, salads, things like that. So that's essentially the presentation. In terms, I should mention, in terms of entertainment, there'll be no live entertainment. We told that to the, to the Civic Association. We're gonna not do any live entertainment, and they probably will play music. I'm sure they'll have sporting events on, something like that nature.
Okay, thank you. Any questions?
I'm sorry, Commissioner Espinosa,
Yes.
can I just ask the attorney to state his name again? I wasn't able to hear it in the beginning.
Sorry, Daniel D. Kelly, Kelly.
Dan, the second floor, I'm looking at a picture of this on Google
Yep.
Maps, and
Yep.
so the palm reader's gone. She's not going to be there reading your palm while you smoke the hookah.
No,
Okay.
the palm reader is gone. Correct. Yes.
There's a door like in the middle of the building that it's a glass door, and it looks like a staircase that goes upstairs. Is that?
Yeah. Yes. So
Okay.
so are you looking at the second floor floor plan right now, Peter?
I'm looking at the picture of the building on Google Maps.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Photograph. Yeah.
We submitted the second floor plan. So that's a stairwell. Okay.
Okay.
It's a small, tiny stairwell. And that's when I said we are asking that to be licensed. And that is what the Civic Association did support. But they have to make a couple of jumps through the ADA hoops with the city in order to get a certificate, get a CO up there. That is their hope to do that.
So you can
But
get to that staircase from inside?
It's the only way to get to it. Yeah.
Well, there's a door. There's on this picture, there's a big glass door.
Right, but it's anticipated the door that they're going to use is the door on the far right. If you're
All right.
looking,
Yeah,
they have to have
right.
you have to have two
All right.
methods of enter and exiting for fire. But when you come to the restaurant, you'll be the hookah lounge. You'll be on the far right door because that's
Now-
where they're going to have the ADA compliant ramp that the city is having them build.
Oh, at the main door, they have to build a ramp?
The far right, yes.
Oh,
So
no.
I don't know how old the hookah. How old this Google Maps is, but they've already built one on the
2019.
left hand. They've already built one on the left side for the
Oh.
restaurant, and now have to build one on the right side for this lounge.
Okay, all right. What,
Because if you're looking that, you'll see it's probably just like a step up, like a stoop. So that's not ADA compliant.
right, okay. Now at the planning board, didn't you say the occupancy of this is 120 people?
Yeah, that's what the plan submitted is, but as we talked about that with Pine Point, when you go in there, I can't imagine that's the case, and
I
the
can't
city
either.
the city will dictate that. And
you
I
don't-
told that to,
Where did that come from? The 120?
it came from, and that's what I'm looking at, the existing the floor plan, and I just think that's going to be that the engineer combined that between the first two floors. I really do.
Oh. The first and second floor combined.
First and second floor, yeah.
Oh,
So
right.
in the application there is I don't know how to share it from my car, but you guys have this in our application?
Probably.
Okay.
But they don't have the application. I'm the only one who have the application.
Okay.
All right, so whatever the building, so you don't have a final occupancy permit from the.
No,
building
No,
department.
we're going to live with, as the planning board mentioned as well, we're going to live with whatever the city says
Right.
the CO is. Get correct.
That seemed extraordinary, 120 people.
It's
Right. There's
when
no
when
way.
you're no, there is no way. When you go in there, and we were walking with the Civic Association, you could maybe, sorry, I'm on my son's baseball game. You can maybe get 5 couches in there. Maybe.
Right.
Okay, now, can I walk in there and just get a drink? Is this,
No.
is this a service bar only license? There's not gonna be
I
a bar
don't-
with bar stools, right?
They're trying to fashion as much seating as possible. So I don't know if there'll be bar stools or not, but you will not be able to get a drink without getting hookah. Whether they can get a hookah on the bar, it's the size of a large desk. Maybe it might be easier to go up there and check it out, but you will not be able to go in there and be served without ordering hookah.
Okay. So is this license going to be pending approval of the hookah license from the Commonwealth?
Well, I think we were going to suggest that it should be just like the recent one that I did, a new license up on Cooley Street, whereas they're not allowed to open until they have their hookah license. Because the hookah license process could take longer than this process.
Right.
And in fact, on Cooley Street, in fact, it did. They had their liquor license was sitting at the License Commission office to be picked up for about, I don't know, 3-4 weeks at least before they were, they had the hookah back from the city. So we would also agree to that.
All right. Has anybody seen a letter from Pine Point Neighborhood Council?
I did forward it to Miss Nieves in the and I know I forwarded it, and you were at Peter, you were at the planning board when they referenced it as well. So if you don't have it in your packet, I could certainly forward it to you. Maybe not, well, maybe possibly tonight.
We just have a copy of it, please.
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
I'll re-forward again.
All right.
I have a question for the commissioners. Did you receive the entire packet with this information or not?
I haven't.
No.
Right, we did not. Attorney G, if you could perhaps write a note. We are not, it seems that lately we have not been receiving a complete packet. So it's very difficult. And Peter, to go back to the minutes, I actually don't have the minutes. I don't know if the other commissioners did receive the minutes from the last meeting.
Yeah, I did.
You did?
Yes.
Okay, I did not. So if we can just make a note so that perhaps Iana or Maggie, someone, whoever's sending us the packets, make sure that they're complete.
I
Thank
don't think they can send you the application though. Is that what you're asking?
I'm not asking for the application. I'm asking for any paperwork that has to do with our meetings.
Like this letter?
Correct,
Oh, yeah.
correct.
Like the minutes you just referenced, Commissioner.
Right, I did not receive the minutes. If there's any letters from any of the neighborhood councils, I did not receive that either.
Yeah, I didn't get that.
I got a question to Madam Chair. Since both businesses are in close proximity, you have Marley's on one side and you have the Hookah on the other side. Will they be using the same parking facility?
You mean Maddie's? Maybe they call it Marley's. Now, is the other bar, or do you mean the rest?
Yeah, Marley's. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I guess. I mean, right now there's nothing prohibiting.
Mhm.
Right now, there's nothing prohibiting that. Well, I mean, I guess we can certainly work that out with the city if they like. This facility just repaved the parking, so it's been a vacant building for some time. So maybe Marley's has got into the custom parking there. I really don't know. I'd have to go up there later at night and look at that. But so right now, that's not anticipated. It's anticipated we will use our own parking.
Yeah,
But it's essentially been a vacant building for some time. So I can't say whether they park there or not. Maybe they do. If you went up there and looked at it, you would think it's just another part of the parking lot until they repaved it and started reopening the business.
Okay. I'm just envisioning if there's a large function at either one of those locations. It seems like there might be some discrepancy around parking. So
I agree. Ours, like I said, the landlord, which these applicants are not, just repaved their parking lot. So I guess you could tell what the new part and the old part is. Maybe that's something the two businesses should probably meet on and talk about.
okay, all right.
Actually, if you look on the city's GIS system, what is being interpreted as the parking lot is actually a paper street owned by the city,
Yeah.
and it's paved. I assume one or both of these business owners paved it at one point, but it's not either one of their properties. It's a street called Sewell Street, and there is one house on it behind Marley's, and then it just goes into the woods. So it looks actually like Republica has extremely limited part of that paved area. Most of it is the street for that house. So how that's gonna work out, I guess. I hope it doesn't.
I'll have,
any squabble.
maybe when maybe Mr. Jahan comes out to take a look at the overall issue, we could have him take a look at that as well.
Yeah.
I know we've done license agreements with other bars that had similar issues as
Yeah.
well.
Mhm.
License agreements with the city, I mean, you know, for usage only.
Right.
Okay. Any other commissioners have questions? No.
No, ma'am.
Okay. Peter, this is a little complex, motion. Would you like to make this motion
Sure.
for me, please?
I would make a motion to approve the petition for a new all alcohol restaurant license for Republica Hookah Lounge located at 760 Boston Road. Where's the official corporation for Republica Hookah Bar LLC, DBA Republica Hookah Lounge located at 760 Boston Road. Charlie Mello Perez, manager of record, with a 1 a.m. closing restriction and the license not to be released until the business has received their hookah license from the Commonwealth. Do I hear a second?
Second,
Okay. Commissioner Kane,
yes.
Commissioner Singleton.
Yes.
Commissioner Ramirez,
Yes.
Commissioner D'Angelo Antonio,
Yes.
and Commissioner Espinosa, yes. Okay, good luck.
Good luck.
Thank you. Thank you.
No
Thank you
squabbling
so
over that
much.
driveway now.
Have a good day.
Thank you.
You too.
Be blessed.
Okay,
Thank you.
welcome. Our third item on the agenda is a transfer of license for K Cakes Banquet Hall LLC, DBA K Cakes, located at 357 Cottage Street, Luz Cruz, manager of record. And if Ms. Cruz, I know that we just approved this license for you. I believe you did not have an LLC at that time, but you do now. We can't hear you.
All this is proposed.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I
Yes,
do.
now we can.
Okay, yes, so when I first applied for the license, I was just trying to get the license because with all the events, you know, people were requesting the alcohol. I was not thinking about the LLC. My father-in-law is a retired criminal attorney in New Bedford, Mass. And when he found out, he says, "You need an LLC. Are you crazy? You should get an LLC." And so had I known and had the discussion with him, I would have went that route the first time around. I myself am not a drinker. I will not do good in jail. So I cannot have people messing up. And so I'm like, let me just do this LLC. I spoke with Anna Nieves at the downtown office, and she told me that I had to do a transfer, and so that's what that is. That's what I'm requesting.
Okay, that's pretty clear and good advice.
That was very good advice.
Right.
And
Any
nobody
questions?
told me. I spoke with so many people. I think I know everyone in the city of Springfield, from the fire marshals, and I've spoken with so many people. Not one person suggested it, so I just didn't know. And when my father-in-law said, "So you have your LLC," I was clueless. And then he said, "You need to get it. Just trust me. Just get it." And
Right.
so, yeah,
Good. That was good advice.
good. Thank you.
Any questions from the commissioners?
Well, I reviewed the application and we have very, very few licensees who are individual proprietorships, but it's not my place to say, you don't really want this, you want an LLC. I was a little surprised to see that. So this is very sound advice. You don't want the responsibility personally.
I don't. I get scared easily, and the thought of someone getting hurt, someone coming after me, or my my family's, my assets, I said, you know what, let me just do it. Let me just do it.
And you have to, they told you you had to do a transfer of license?
Yes.
Okay.
But that's what Anna told you,
Okay,
Mhm.
correct?
yeah.
Yes.
If this is not correct, I would like to waive the application fee if she has to come back with a different type of application. It
Okay.
just doesn't seem right to me that she had to do a transfer, but we'll see what the ABCC says.
Okay,
All right.
So I'm sorry. So if it wasn't a transfer, what was I supposed to do?
They have another spot on the application for change of ownership or something. So I was surprised to see a transfer. I thought it would be change of ownership, but
I think this
Yeah.
is not a transfer, though.
it's not a transfer.
It's not a transfer. It's a whole new entity.
right. Yes, from one entity to another. Yeah. I just hope it's right. That's all.
Okay.
Okay.
So should I contact Anna and like do a new application or?
No, we can approve this and send it off to the ABCC and see what they say.
Okay. Well,
Okay,
thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me and explaining this to me because I didn't even know. I was just told I needed to transfer it.
okay. Well, I make a motion that we approve the petition for a transfer of license for Cake Cakes Banquet Hall, LLC DBA. Cake Cakes located at 357 Cottage Street, Louis Cruz, manager of record.
Second,
Okay, Commissioner Kay,
Yes.
Commissioner Singleton,
yes.
Commissioner Ramirez,
Yes.
Commissioner D'Angelo Antonio,
Yes.
and Commissioner Espinosa, yes. Have a good evening, Ms. Cruz.
Thank you guys so much. Have a good one.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Night. Okay, we go into informational hearings now. Is someone here for New England Motor Cars?
Commissioner Espinosa, if I may, the licensing office had contacted the parties on that matter and asked that it be continued to June 22nd because the complainant was not available to appear this evening.
Okay. So I make a motion that we continue the New England Motor Cars located at 720 Berkshire Avenue, Mohammed Rafi, manager of record, to June 22nd.
Second,
Okay, Commissioner Cade,
Yes.
Commissioner Singleton,
yes.
Commissioner Ramirez,
Yes.
Commissioner D'Angelo Antonio,
Yes.
and Commissioner Espinosa, yes.
Commissioner, I'm sorry to interrupt again. My apologies. The owner of the company was not available. So we let the complainant know and they both agreed to continue to the 22nd. Just wanted to
Okay.
clarify that for the record.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Our second item is Cozy Cafe, Inc., DBA, doing business as Cozy Cafe located at 666 State Street, Ellen Boynton, manager of record, to discuss the quality of life issue going on. Barry, do you, Miss Ellen is here. Who else is here for Cozy?
Boynton,
That's it?
Lou,
Okay,
her
Lou.
husband,
Okay,
Lou.
Okay, Barry, do you wanna talk to us a little bit about what's going on with Cozy?
So let me just reference my report. So on May 2nd, an email was forwarded to the police department from the mayor's office. It was I'm not sure if you have this in front of you or not, but
Yes.
it was a lengthy complaint from a resident that lives nearby, complaining about the noise coming from Cozy Cafe on a Saturday night, April 23rd into the morning of April 24th. Once I received that email, we checked the CAD records for all calls to service to that location. And there were 7 calls there for unnecessary noise. And that's the last 3-year period. So it's really not excessive, but there were some calls there. for noise. Quite a few of the calls were made by the same complainant. Not all of them were. I reviewed I requested all the licenses from the licensing department. Basically, they have an alcoholic beverage license that allows service of alcohol between 11 and 2 a.m. Monday through Sunday. It described the licensed premise as first floor for service and storage. The outdoor pavilion was not listed on the license that I was provided. And the entertainment license for Cozy Cafe states no outdoor entertainment. Basically, what we've done with other licensees in the same position where we get these complaints is we request the licensee come before the board just to remind them about the city noise ordinance and make them aware that there were complaints.
Okay, the
I'm
date.
sorry, sir, one moment, please.
Mhm.
Commissioner Espinosa, Ellen Boynton is the manager of record, so I think that you need to hear from her if you don't mind.
Correct. You're absolutely correct. So Ms. Boynton, we'd like to hear from you, please.
Okay, so on our events, all of us are aware of the noise ordinance, and we turn music down are at 10 o'clock. And on the weekends, I think it is still at 10 or 11 o'clock on weekends. And so I don't know why he continues to complain, because that's been it. We've had it checked. He's the only person who is making these complaints, but this is what this establishment has been.
I think that one of the, I read the report, and I think the other concern is that you do not have an entertainment license for the pavilion or a liquor license for the pavilion.
I do have a license for entertainment for the pavilion. We've done that every single year for the same amount of money, for the same thing every single year. So I will have to look into that to see why you are not seeing that.
They would check with license.
Just to clarify, I honestly, the license they sent me, it didn't list the outdoor pavilion at all. And whether it should have, that's a strong possibility. Maybe it just wasn't listed on the license. But the entertainment license that I was provided said no outdoor entertainment. So again, that's something maybe they can clarify with the licensing department and Attorney Days. And again, this was more just to make you guys aware that there was a complaint. All the complaints weren't the same person. He did call in quite a few, and just a reminder that as far as the hours go, there's no time frame for noise ordinance violations in the city. It's any time of the day. And in essence, if you can hear the music from 50 feet away, it's a violation. So we just wanted to make you aware of that as well, that there are no hours associated with the noise ordinance violation.
I thank you. I appreciate that. And we will look into the entertainment license piece. I will definitely look into that ASAP. So because it should be there, because we're paying for it. So it should be on the license so that anyone who looks at it will see it. And we've always agreed to monitor the noise after 10 p.m. because of our location, and to just try and keep these complaints, down, and not to be infringe on people's rights. And so that's always been our policy since we opened. And so I will, look into all these matters.
Okay, we will appreciate if you do, because again, just like Officer Delamater said, we do, even whether you have the pavilion is licensed or not, most definitely after 10 o'clock, there shouldn't be loud music. However, even if it's 8 o'clock and the music is too loud, you need to be conscientious of your neighbors and the fact that that is a residential area.
And that's why we've done that, because we are conscientious. We are.
Okay, thank you.
Ellen, I have a question. Ellen, do I see a covered walkway going from the main building to the pavilion?
Yes.
Okay, so I can't drive completely around the building.
Yes, you can. You can go under it.
Oh, you can go under
Yeah.
that? Oh,
If
yeah.
you remember, Peter, when we, Erica's Kitchen, am I correct, has a drive-through?
Yes, we
Mhm.
approve that, yeah.
We approved a drive-through window. So
oh,
they still come in and
Oh.
they drive around the building to the drive-through window.
okay. I do remember licensing the pavilion. You
Yeah.
came in after for the pavilion, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
There was a building first and then you added the pavilion.
with the piece over it. Yep.
So
That
the
connected it.
liquor, liquor license should reflect the number of square feet licensed in both the building and the pavilion. Is the pavilion a seasonal thing?
Pretty much, yes.
So you don't go out there in the winter.
No, not unless, no, not usually.
I mean,
Not usually, not to
Is
have big events or anything.
is it open to the elements? Is it just a roof or?
No, we have, it's not enclosed, but we have, plastic walls, you know, to
Oh,
keep
all right.
rain out and stuff like
Okay.
that.
And you have offer entertainment out there in this pavilion?
People rent it for that reason.
Oh, all
Remote.
right. Well, okay. So I don't know
And
if that
because of,
would be,
and all that, it's mostly, for, repasts. That's really what it gets
Okay.
used for a lot
I
now.
see.
Since COVID, it's been a
Alright.
good place for people to be able to be outside with their family members.
okay. Well, would no outdoor entertainment mean not in the pavilion if the pavilion is licensed? I guess, does that make sense? Outdoor entertainment to me would be outdoors. And if this is a pavilion and it's licensed for service of alcohol, would putting no outdoor entertainment on the entertainment license mean that they can't have entertainment in the pavilion?
No,
I don't know. I
No,
can't
I
speak
think
to
so.
that. I don't think so.
yes.
That's confusing.
Mhm.
Right.
It is. That's why we'll look into this so that
Alright.
we're all clear.
Peter, could I help her out here a minute?
What, Lou?
Could I help her out here a second? The, it is licensed. If we have an entertainment license out there and, in the pavilion, and it, tells us, you know, what date and what times that we could be out there. And, it has for entertainment.
Okay. Apparently, though, the License Commission Office did not provide that to Officer Delamarter when he asked about it, because we have an entertainment license that just says 666 State Street, no outdoor entertainment. And that's unclear as to what exactly they're referring to. And in my opinion, this should say 666 State Street, including rear pavilion or something like that, to show that you have a license to offer entertainment in that rear pavilion as well, and what the hours of that should be. So that, I think there needs to be a little bit of clarifying on both the liquor license and what that includes and on the entertainment license. So,
Commissioner, if I may, since I know that there needs to be some clarification, would it make sense to obtain that clarification and maybe continue the matter to the 22nd?
Well, just for clarity, I think this is just an informational session anyway.
Oh,
It
that's right.
is,
yeah,
right, it
Yeah,
is an
absolutely.
informational, right, you're absolutely right, Commissioner Kay. So basically what I would ask is that you look into, you call the License Commission tomorrow, the office, and, you know, find out why didn't they put it on your license, the correct information.
Okay.
Anna should be able to let us know after you've done that it has been corrected and that you have been sent the corrected license.
Okay.
Okay?
I got a
And-
question for Mrs. Morton too. How many years have you operated the pavilion?
The pavilion?
Yes, the Cozy,
Cozy Cafe since
Courtyard,
about
yeah.
2008.
right.
Yeah, since about 2008.
2008.
The Cozy Cafe and the Pavilion came on a little after that.
Absolutely. So I'm just to the other commissioners, 7 calls since 2008 is not really a bad thing. However, since it's getting more excessive, so the caller is indicating that you just kind of keep an eye on, you know, the hours that you do that and make sure that the noise is down.
Okay, I will definitely do that.
I agree, Andrew. I was very surprised to see a noise complaint coming from Cozy Cafe. I thought it was just a quiet little spot there, and but just be mindful of the fact that noise carries, especially at night when people are trying to
absolutely
go to bed. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, well, don't forget to call the office tomorrow and have a good night. Thank you for coming.
Okay, thank you as well.
Great.
Good night.
But before we continue, I think iPhone 5 is Malecon.
Yes, it is.
Okay, you were not on for today.
They were. Right.
They were, however, Delicias and Malecon are on for the next meeting. Someone should have called you from the license office to let you know that you're on for the 22nd.
Oh, for the 22nd. Okay.
Yes. Okay.
All right.
Got it. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank
have
you,
a good
guys.
night.
Likewise.
Good night.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay, our next item on the agenda is Yard Food Bar and Grill, Inc., DBA Hamels Bar and Grill located at 278 Main Street. Andrew Poyser, manager of record.
Good
Okay,
afternoon.
right, this is an informational hearing as well. Barry, do you want to go ahead with this one?
Sure. This informational hearing was requested after an incident on February 12th at Hamels. Basically on that night, a female was assaulted. It was determined it happened outside. One female was a patron. One pulled up in a car was not a patron. The responding officers spoke with at least one security officer there who was concerned over the capacity, the number of people there. There was also an issue with the placement of the license inside the restaurant, and the fact that after this disturbance, no call was made to the police to report it by the licensee. I did speak to Mr. Poyser. Actually, I spoke to him right after this happened in February. I actually spoke to him earlier today about an unrelated matter, but in essence, he was advised at that time about what had happened. He was present that night. I believe he may have been impacted by the effects of mace, which was deployed by the female in the car. And he did tell me at that time he didn't call the police because the female drove off and everyone that was involved left. I told him, even if that happens, just to call and report it so that if something like this happens in the future, there will be a record that he called as well to report it. He understood that. He also advised me that he hires 3 to 5 security personnel from a company that are outside of his employees. So he hires them. They maintain the security there. He did tell me that the person responsible for keeping count at the door is a female employee of his. And, you know, he said he would make sure that they adhere to the limit of 75. That evening, the officers also thought they may have exceeded that, but no one got an official count. So in essence, you know, this was basically to remind him if something does happen near the licensed premise that he's aware of, to give us a call, let us know, and to make sure that his employees do keep track of how many people are in there. And the other issue was the license, I believe, was posted very high up on the wall. Like the employee had to step on a table to get it down. And he was advised to put it where people can see it, and he agreed that he would take care of that. So that's basically what this was for. I believe the security is, he hires so many of his own and then has a company that takes care of the rest of it on his behalf.
Okay. Mr. Poyser, in terms of, I understand that you said, there were 75, but even your security person was a little concerned about the amount of people he felt that they were over 75 in your place. So we just want to make sure that you keep in mind that 75, you shouldn't have anybody, or not one person over 75. And then also the fact that, when you came and we said to you, do you, you take responsibility for, your place there, that is not just, for you to know that is also the surrounding area, not just inside, but, your parking lot, and just make sure, and like Barry said, it's very important that you do make that phone call so that there is record that you did make that phone call. Okay, and then the license, did you move the license down?
Yes, I did.
Okay, awesome. Okay. Anyone else have any questions for Mr. Poyser?
I have had licensees in the past tell me that they don't want them near the public, the licenses near the public, because they steal them. But you can make a photocopy and keep the real one in your office and put the photocopy on the wall. And if it disappears, then you just make another photocopy of it.
That's
right?
what I did.
Where now this incident that happened with the mace, that was out in front on the sidewalk?
Yeah, out in front.
Okay, and in the, you have a security plan
Yes,
that you presented to us, and it mentions security posted at the back door will oversee the parking lot. Do you have security in the front as well?
yes, I do.
Oh, all right, okay. So this was just some kind of crazy incident. A woman driving around with 3 kids in her car at 2 a.m. stops to mace somebody.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I can't make it up.
Oh. After seeing some of these reports,
We pretty
So,
much
yeah.
believe just about everything.
just about anything.
Yeah,
3 children in the car at 2 a.m.
right.
They were known parties, so they knew each other, and I believe this was something to do, like an ongoing issue between family members or extended family members.
Right. Okay. Well, again, this was an informational hearing. You have been informed.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And we hope not to see you again.
I hope not to see you either.
Take
guys-
care. Have a good
You guys
night.
have a good day.
All right, you too.
You
Take
too.
care.
Okay. Now, all of the, like I mentioned before, all the pre-hearing conferences were moved to our next meeting on the 22nd. I don't know if we have any violation reports, because like I said, I did not receive a complete packet for today.
I think it said none.
None.
somewhere.
Okay.
Um,
Okay. Okay, no reports. It does
Yeah.
say it here, Peter.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Right.
So with that being said, I make a motion to adjourn at 6:20 p.m.
I'm sorry, Madam Chairperson, before you do that, can you make a formal motion to continue the matters that are left on to June 22nd?
Absolutely. I make a motion that we continue the pre-hearing conferences for Delicia's Restaurant and Catering Corporation and Okay, until June 22nd. Do I hear a second? Okay, Commissioner Cade,
Yes.
Commissioner Singleton,
Yes.
Commissioner Ramirez,
Yes.
Commissioner D'Angelo Antonio.
Yes.
Okay. And I make a motion that we continue the final hearings for Delicias and for Sumaya Restaurant, DBA Malecon for June 22nd. I'm sorry, did you want me to make those separate, Attorney
That's fine.
G? Okay, for June 22nd, 2022. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Okay, Commissioner Kane,
Yes.
Commissioner Singleton,
Yes.
Commissioner D'Angelo Antonio,
Yes.
and Commissioner Ramirez.
Yes.
Commissioner Espinosa, yes. Thank you.
I'd like to, Madam Chair, just thank Attorney G for filling in for Attorney Days today.
You're welcome.
Absolutely. Thank you. Good job.
Good job.
Thank you.
Don't do it
Okay.
too good. You may get it permanently.
Right?
I have enough jobs.
You know how things work around here.
I don't know if that'll be a good thing or a bad thing. Huh?
And I'm sorry, Commissioner, you continued all the final hearings? So Zamaya
Yes.
Restaurant and Delicias?
Correct.
Okay, thank you. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Peter,
Yes.
where's your ears?
Yeah, still in my suitcase. It was very, very hot there. Oh, God, it was so hot. Glad to be back in my nice cool office, actually.
Good, I bet.
Right.
Okay, so let's try this again. I make a motion that we adjourn our meeting at 6:22. There a second?
Second.
Okay, Commissioner Cade,
Yes.
Commissioner Singleton,
Yes.
Commissioner D'Angelo Antonio,
Yes.
and Commissioner Ramirez.
Yes.
Commissioner Espinosa, yes. Good night, everyone. Thank you. Thank you.
Good night. Have a good one.
I.
Bye.
Night, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Thank-